Hello Berglund team. I am standing in the middle of the McCorkle Aquatic Complex. This is an interesting project from a quality standpoint, as we were tasked with removing all of the tile in the competition pool. As you can see, from that blue square down, we had to remove all of the tile in this entire competition pool and reset it due to a pre-existing quality issue where all of the tile was delaminating from the bottom of the pool after the pool was filled. When you look at the pool, you can see all of the markings. So from a quality standpoint, this entire pool had to be documented with exact locations of all the markings. Being at a college competition pool, all of the markings and the distances and the colors are sanctioned, I'm sure, by some athletic body. There were numerous efforts made here. Dull tile had to replace the tile. Latacrete had to come in and make sure that their product would work for immersion. Our gentleman, our subcontractor, is putting the tile down, and they're coming back using a grinder in between each one to make sure the grout depth is the correct depth for grouting. There's also a backer paper that needs to come off. And we have to make sure that there's no adhesive left. So this all started with a quality issue with the old tile and how it was made. Our subcontractor has to go over the entire pool and remove this part of the adhesive to make sure that the grout depth is uniform. Here's a perfect example of new tile that's been pawed up with the backing paper, and you can see that this is very sticky. So they have to remove this backing paper, then go over the entire installation and make sure that the grout lines are clear so that it will accept the same amount of grout everywhere. In the end, the finished product kind of looks like this, but there is another final clean that needs to be done. We've had extensive documentation here so that we could understand exactly how the tile was going down, who was working on it, and making sure that this insulation will last. When installing anything that has to adhere to another surface, the most important part of that installation is the surface prep, and that holds true for tile, it holds true for paint, epoxies. All of those materials need a good base to be able to adhere to. So in this case, we are removing all the tile. This is the old glue or the old thin set that is still left. That gets ground away, okay? And then the whole area is sandblasted and or shot blasted to get to a clean but roughened surface. As you can see, the substrate becomes very, very rough, very, very pockmarked, not so much porous, but all of this amplitude gives the thin set a very good substrate to bite on. Step 2 of the process is to fill all of the large holes and create a flat surface for the tile to sit on. Any large holes that are there will make the tile divot, and although it probably isn't a performance issue, but it certainly is aesthetics if we don't have a sheer plane for the tile to adhere to. Then the thin set goes on and the tile is installed, but it still has that backing paper on it and it still hasn't been grouted. As we move along, you can see that this is the area where they had taken the backing paper off, but there still is a small amount of adhesive that is still stuck to the face of the tile. And normally it wouldn't really be an issue, but in a large installation like this, where you're doing with a lot of floors and people are transversing over it, that adhesive can pick up more dirt. There's another wash that needs to happen so that we can remove that sticky back paper that I showed you before. Then the final step is the grinding and then the grouting. And then after that, there's one more step here that hasn't happened yet, but it's a complete clean of this entire area. But just to give everybody an idea, this pool, when filled, holds 6 million gallons of water. And that, my friends, was your quality few moments.